The government allows the resumption of dine-in and personal care services in MECQ areas, but subject to certain limitations. The first batch of Russia's Sputnik V vaccines are now on the way to the Philippines. The Science and Technology Department weighs in on the use of Ivermectin as a COVID-19 treatment as the distribution of the anti-parasitic drug rolls out in Quezon City. An international law expert says the Aquino administration was not the one at fault for the West Philippine Sea issue, contrary to President Duterte's claims. And a BTS pop-up store is set to open in Manila. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your day. I'm Charles Lejano. Kicking off today's newscast with the government allowing the resumption of dine-in services in MECQ areas. The Interagency Task Force approved this recommendation to allow dine-in services to reopen, but only at an initial 10% seating capacity. On the other hand, personal care services such as salons, barbershops, and nail spas are also permitted to reopen at 30% capacity in MECQ areas. Pala spokesperson Harry Roque says that both restaurants and personal care services may operate beyond this limitation, provided that they comply with the Safety Seal certification program. Nurses at a private hospital in Batangas are lamenting their low salaries, despite the voluminous work brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. But hospital owners say there's not much they can do, especially since PhilHealth has yet to disburse their claims. Jenny Dongon with the rest of the story.
Rowena's daily routine includes checking on COVID-19 patients at the ward of the Mary Mediatrics Medical Center in Lipa City, Batangas. The 40-year-old nursing aide caters to almost 20 patients daily, from feeding them and changing their clothes to monitoring their vital signs and oxygen supplies.
Sakripisyo po talaga. Kasi yung po pag-morning care, pag-vital signs, papalit ng bedsheet, sobrang, minsan tinamatagal ako sa pasyente, pag na-rounds ko lahat nila, ako lang NA, minsan 15, 17 patient, akin lahat yun, monitoring. So pag nagkasabay-sabay po ang morning care, nabawa po yung 5, di yun po, medyo pagod ka po talaga kami, kasi yung oras namin sa paglilinis sa pasyente, minsan inaabot po kami ng isang oras at kalahati, ganun.
It's not any easier for intensive care unit nurse June, who tries to hold back tears while placing the body of a 70-year-old expired patient in a cadaver bag. These challenges do not exactly translate to sufficient salary. The Labor Department says the salary of nurses in the Philippines ranges from 27 to 47,000 pesos, depending on whether they work at a public or private hospital. But data presented by the Filipino Nurses United show that private hospital nurses only get 10,000 a month on average, while public hospital nurses receive 22 to 32,000 pesos. Mary Mediatrics Medical Center Director Romel Loho admits they cannot level their employees' salaries to the government standard due to financial challenges. Loho says this is also the reason why they don't have enough manpower and resources to add COVID-19 beds. Since January this year, 17 nurses have resigned from the said private hospitals.
Hindi ka pwedeng maglalagay lang ng bed tapos lalagay mo dyan ng pasyente. Sino magbabantay dyan kung wala kang nurse? Kung halimbawa yung patient mo needs a ventilator or a high-flow nasal cannula machine, kung wala ka nun, anong gagawin mo sa pasyente? Kung wala kang medicines, like halimbawa yung mga ibang medicines ngayon, naubusan tayo ng stocks. The remdesivir and all of these medicines. At paano natin ititreat yan? So, hindi ganun kasimple ang maglagay lang ng bed.
To somehow ease their burden, the Batangas Hospital is appealing to PhilHealth to pay their COVID-19 claims worth around 50 to 55 million pesos. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Sputnik V vaccines are finally en route to the Philippines. This was announced by the Philippine ambassador to Russia, King Soreta, on Facebook. The first 15,000 doses of the Russian vaccine left for Manila on April 29 and is expected to arrive on May 1. Meanwhile, the Philippine Red Cross will push through with its planned Buy One, Donate One program for Moderna vaccines. In an interview with the Chiefs, PRC Chairman Richard Gordon explained that Moderna is one of the most expensive COVID vaccines. So the organization came up with this idea to make the vaccine more accessible to all.
So 4,000 for 2 doses yun. 2 dose na yun. So what's wrong with giving another 4,000 to somebody who may not be able to afford? Diba? And the idea is speed up the testing, the vaccination para mabawasan ang magkakaroon ng sakit. So that's the rationale behind that.
The Department of Science and Technology reminds the public that there's still no sufficient evidence to prove the effectivity of Ivermectin in the treatment of COVID-19. Because of this, the department says that the drug can only be used by clinical trial participants. Speaking with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, DOST PC HRD Executive Director Jaime Montoya said that it's better to rely on existing COVID-19 vaccines for now.
Hindi ko sinasabing hindi siya pwedeng gamitin, pero wala pa po tayong enough evidence to show that it works as a preventive treatment, strategy. Baka mas maigi po ay bakuna. So kung kayo po ay umiiwas at kayo natatakot na kayo magka-infection, magkasakit, mas reliable po na kayo ay magpabakuna na lamang. At kung available na bakuna, tanggapin nyo na. Mas epektibo po yun.
Montoya also said that Tawa-Tawa, VCO, and Lagundi have not been proven to specifically cure COVID-19. Instead, these are only classified as food supplements to help strengthen the body. However, he also warned against taking too much of these food supplements without consulting your doctors.
Pero kung kayo po ay may ibang sakit, katulad ng kayo may sakit sa puso, o kayo ay diabetic, o kayo ay may iba pang comorbidity na tinatawag, mas maigi po na kumonsulta kayo sa inyong health professional, sa inyong doktor, na siya makapagpapayo sa inyo kung makatutulong ba yan. Yeah. No? Itong mga pwede yung food supplement na inumin. Dahil alam nyo, kapag masyadong marami na iniinom nyo na food supplement, may tinatawag tayong drug interaction din. So baka maghalo-halo ang side effect niyan.
Maritime law expert Professor Batongbacal says it wasn't the Aquino administration that dropped the ball in asserting our claim in the West Philippine Sea. In an interview with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, Batongbacal said the Aquino government properly lodged an arbitral case to solidify our claim in the disputed waters. But this ruling was only issued when Duterte was already in office. This means the responsibility of upholding the ruling had already passed to the present administration.
Hindi masasabi na yung previous administration ang nakawala, no? Dahil ginawa nila lang yung tama lang na hakbang para nga maumpisahan yung proseso ng pag-recover ng ating mga karapatan dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Ang next step sana talaga, ang dapat talaga nagdala nun ay yung Duterte administration dahil sa loob na ng Duterte administration na desisyonan yung kaso. So, nasa kanya yung responsibility to take it forward, to move it forward, no? Pero alam natin, hindi niya ginawa yon.
Recall that President Duterte yesterday laid the blame on his predecessor. He said Aquino's inaction placed the Philippines at a disadvantage on the West Philippine Sea issue. Duterte added that the Philippines is now indebted to China because of their Sinovac donation. But former lawmaker and Defense Secretary Orly Mercado said such debt of gratitude should not be prioritized over national interest.
Tayo masyadong mabait at hindi ayaw natin na magalit sa. It's not bait yan. It's a question of national interest. At alam naman natin na kanilang plano talagang sakupin lahat yan. Alam mo, mag-iingat tayo dun sa yung utang na loob. That doesn't figure. May pakinabang sila. There is no free lunch. There is in international relations as there are no free vaccines. Meron at merong kabayaran yan.
Army, better be ready to bring a friend or whoever want to come along because a BTS pop-up store is coming to Manila. But where exactly can we find this magic shop? MJ Marfori tells us in this report.
Summer is the gift that keeps on giving for BTS fans. After an explosive Passion with Purpose Smart campaign, global sensation BTS will soon open their pop-up store in the Philippines. SM Mega Mall posted something dynamite, showing photos of what seems to be a BTS pop-up map of the Seoul showcase. BTS earlier said they will open pop-up stores across the globe. But wait, there's more. BTS have also dropped the trailer for Butter, the hour-long video of the slowly melting butter graphic. Already raked in over 30 million views and 2 million likes on YouTube. It will be their second all-English single following the Grammy-nominated Dynamite. In a release, BTS said Butter is a dance pop track brimming with smooth yet charismatic charm. For News 5, MJ Marfori, BR1 News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later again at 10 a.m. as we monitor the day's biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lehano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.